Sherry.
And I'm Olive.
So the last two videos, there were no visitors. So that means today we won't have any visitors.
Yeah.
Okay, today we're continuing reading Frog and Toad, Our Friends. The last video, we read the story. If you hadn't watched that yet, please go watch it. Please leave a like and a subscribe. Today, we're going to be reading A Lost Button. Let's start reading. The Lost Button. Toad and Frog went for a long walk. They walked across a large meadow. They walked in the woods. They walked along the river. At last they went back to Toad's house. "Oh, drat," said Toad. "Not only do my feet hurt, but I have lost one of the buttons on my jacket."
Don't worry,
said Frog.
"We will go back to the places where we walked. We will soon find your button."
They walked back to the large meadow. They began to look for the button in the tall grass.
"Here is your button,"
cried Frog. "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button is black. My button was white." He put the black button in his pocket. A sparrow flew down. "Excuse me," said the sparrow. "Did you lose a button? I found one." "That is not my button," said Toad. "That button has 2 holes. My button has 4 holes." Toad put the button with 2 holes in his pocket. They went back to the woods and looked on the dark paths.
"Here is your button,"
said Frog. "That is not my button," cried Toad. "That button is small. My button was big." Toad put the small button in his pocket. A raccoon came out from behind a tree.
"I heard that you were looking for a button,"
he said.
"Here's one that I just found."
"That is not my button," wailed Toad. "That button is square. My button was round." Toad put the square button in his pocket. Frog and Toad went back to the river. They looked for the button in the mud.
"Here's your button,"
said Frog. "That is not my button," shouted Toad. "My button is thin. That button is thin. My button was thick." Toad put the thin button in his pocket. He was very angry. He jumped up and down and screamed, "The whole world is covered with buttons and not one of them is mine!" Toad ran home and slammed the door. There, on the floor, he saw his white, 4-holed, big, round, thick button. "Oh," said Toad, "it was here all the time. What a lot of trouble I have made for Frog." Toad took all of the buttons out from his pocket. He took his sewing box down from the shelf. Toad sewed the buttons all over his jacket. The next day, Toad gave his jacket to Frog. Frog thought it was beautiful. He put it on and jumped for joy. None of the buttons fell off. Toad has sewn them on very well. The end. Well, for now. Thank you for reading with us. Please subscribe and like, please. Don't forget to join us in our next video to read A Swim. Thank you for reading with us.
Please subscribe
And like, please.
Thank you for watching.